Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Today, we're taking a look at something so incredibly common, it's arguably the most overlooked nutrient in human biology. I'm talking about water. You know the old joke, we're basically just walking, talking houseplants with complex emotions? Well, it's kinda true. But today, we're going to completely shift how you think about hydration.
We really need a massive paradigm shift here. The traditional view pretty much reduces hydration to a super simple question: am I thirsty or not? But the deeper reality is much more profound. We have to start viewing water as our internal operating system. It's the ultimate solvent. It's the invisible framework that dictates how well your entire body functions, influencing everything from your circulation to brain function, and even how efficiently nutrients are being used at the cellular level.
So, here is our roadmap for today. 1. More than just thirst. 2. Inside the water matrix. 3. How diet changes hydration. 4. The hidden dehydration tax. And 5. The foundation of life. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1. More than just thirst.
So, what does it mean to call water the ultimate biological solvent? Basically, it's the essential liquid medium that provides the invisible framework making life and honestly every single chemical reaction in your body possible. We really have to move past this whole idea of just drink more water because it's good for you and understand that water is an absolute requirement. It's not just some side factor, it is literally required for every chemical reaction happening inside you every single second of the day.
Moving on to Section 2, Inside the Water Matrix.
Let's look at digestion. Digestion is fundamentally a water-based process. First off, water enables your enzymes to actually function, helping break down your food into absorbable molecules. Second, it maintains the precise fluid balance needed for your digestive secretions. Hydrochloric acid in your stomach is actually produced in a watery environment. That balance is what maintains the correct acidity to break down proteins. And third, water dissolves those nutrients so they can be transported right across the intestinal lining and into your bloodstream. Without enough water, this entire process gets sluggish. Your nutrient absorption suffers, even if your diet is absolutely flawless.
Now, there's a huge misconception out there about flushing toxins in that super dramatic juice cleanse kind of way. Actually, scratch that whole idea. The truth is, your body is constantly detoxifying on its own, and water simply supports that process. Think about your liver and your kidneys. They are incredible, natural filtration systems, but they absolutely rely on water as a transport medium. Water carries metabolic waste products, things like urea and creatinine, right out of your cells and through the kidneys so they can be excreted in your urine or sweat. When your fluid intake is too low, this whole filtration system becomes concentrated and inefficient, which just puts way more physiological strain on your body.
Water is also powering your broader circulatory networks. Staying hydrated maintains your blood volume, keeps your blood pressure stable, and ensures smooth circulation, so oxygen gets exactly where it needs to go. If you're dehydrated, your blood actually gets thicker and more concentrated, meaning your cardiovascular system has to work so much harder. On top of that, water is your primary cooling system. Through sweat and evaporation, it releases excess heat. And here's a really crucial one. Water powers your lymphatic system. Unlike your heart and circulatory system, your lymphatic system doesn't have a central pump. It depends entirely on hydration, movement, and muscle contraction to transport immune cells and clear out cellular waste.
If we zoom all the way down to the cellular level, energy metabolism itself depends on water. ATP, which is basically your cellular energy, is produced inside your mitochondria. But that process happens in a highly fluid biochemical environment where water is directly participating in those enzyme reactions. When you're not adequately hydrated, that cellular efficiency just tanks, which you usually feel as brain fog or fatigue. Water also helps transport glucose into your cells to regulate blood sugar, and it's a huge component of your synovial fluid and cartilage, giving you that vital joint lubrication and shock absorption.
All right, Section 3. How diet changes hydration.
I want to pose a question directly to you. How does what you eat actually change what you need to drink? Because hydration needs aren't living in a vacuum separate from your diet. They're deeply influenced by it. This is especially true if you follow a plant-based or high-fiber diet, which completely changes how water is used and distributed throughout your body.
It's fascinating how specific dietary elements interact with water. Take dietary fiber, for example. Fiber literally absorbs water in your digestive tract to form this gel-like substance that supports gut motility and overall microbiome health. Then you have resistant starches, the kind you find in cooled potatoes, legumes, and whole grains. These undergo fermentation in the colon, and water plays a massive role in creating the optimal environment for that fermentation, which keeps your metabolism stable. And third, whole food plant-based diets are naturally very low in sodium. That is a great thing, but it significantly impacts your overall electrolyte balance.
And this actually brings us to a major paradox. You could be eating an incredibly healthy, high-fiber diet, but if you don't optimize your hydration, that fiber literally cannot do its job. High-fiber diets without enough water lead to slower digestion, bloating, constipation, and just this heavy, sluggish feeling. Instead of feeling all that amazing vitality from your healthy diet, a lack of water turns that great fiber into a massive roadblock in your gut.
We also have to look at your activity level when you're eating a whole food diet. If you're generally sedentary, whole foods provide a really great naturally low sodium and high potassium balance. It's ideal. But if you're active, if you're sweating heavily or you're an athlete, you're losing both water and electrolytes. Because a whole food diet doesn't have much added salt, those sodium losses might not be fully replaced through your meals alone. Now, this isn't an excuse to go eat a bunch of processed junk, but it does mean that active individuals need to intentionally replace electrolytes to prevent fatigue, headaches, and slow recovery times.
Moving to Section 4, the hidden dehydration tax.
I want you to consider this tiny number, 1 to 2%. Research shows that even a microscopic 1 to 2% drop in your hydration status instantly impairs your cognitive and physical performance. You don't need to be wandering lost in a desert to suffer the effects of dehydration. This low-grade dehydration tax is likely happening to you during a totally normal workday.
And the cascading effects of that tiny 1 to 2% drop are no joke. We're talking reduced concentration, headaches, fatigue, and even mood changes. Your physical exercise performance drops off, but what's really eye-opening is that mild dehydration actually increases your physiological stress. It elevates your cortisol levels, which messes with your energy and recovery. It also causes increased cardiovascular strain. Because your blood volume decreases, your circulation becomes less efficient, meaning your heart literally has to work harder just to pump blood around your body.
Finally, Section 5, the foundation of life.
I like to think of it this way. If nutrition is the fuel, water is the actual system that allows the engine to run. When you optimize your hydration, literally everything else in your body works more efficiently. Digestion, energy production, detoxification, cognitive function, the whole shebang. It's not because water is some magical miracle cure, but simply because it is the fundamental medium of life itself. When your internal operating system is running smoothly, you experience clearer thinking, steadier energy, and this profound, resilient sense of physical well-being. So I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. You probably spend a ton of time obsessing over the fuel you put into your body, right? Your diet, your macros, the latest superfoods. But are you neglecting the very system that allows the engine to run in the first place? I challenge you to take what you've learned from this explainer, permanently shift your daily paradigm, and start treating water like the biological operating system it truly is.